I'm not gonna lie, like this situation here, it's a little difficult for me. I want to know how you guys feel in the comments. But when I think about Camryn Bynum, I think this year that we just seen recently, there's a lot of flack that comes with his name based off of him, preparing a lot for celebrations. And you know what? Listen, the Vikings had great celebrations on the defensive side of the ball this season, particularly Josh Metellus, Cam Bynum. Those two guys came together. They put in hours of rehearsal time. I don't know if it was during practice, after practice, but regardless of the fact, those two players definitely know how to celebrate after making a defensive play. I'm going to give them that. I love Josh Metellus. Go Big Blue. But we're going to talk about our boy Camryn Bynum in particular today, and the facts that are the Vikings and Camryn Bynum closing in on a deal. Are we going to extend him? How do you feel as a Vikings fan? Do you feel like he can be replaced? Is there that much value there? I don't know. But let's talk about what I seen today. Now, shout out to my boys at TPP as always, but this comes from Jay Fowler. It says the Vikings and Cam Bynum have had discussions about an extension. While nothing has materialized, both sides are open to it, and this could get done before mid-March. Now, I look at it like this. First of all, there's a player that I think the Vikings should definitely pursue. And this is whether you bring Cam Bynum back or you don't. But I think that Javon Holland from the Miami Dolphins, safety, you have to bring him in. That dude right there is a baller. He's a free agent going into this season. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think the Dolphins are really in this mode. Like, I'm just going to keep it blunt, man. Miami Dolphins fans, don't kill me, but I'm going to just tell you what it is. I don't think you guys are ready, right? I think when you're talking about the AFC, even particularly the AFC East that you have to play again, I just think you guys are probably going to start being on the bottom more times than none, all right, here in the future. First of all, you got to figure out the quarterback position. So I think they would be willing to free up some space, kind of get rid of these players on top of he's had some injury history, wasn't really available for them this season. But when he was available last season, I'm telling you, this dude is not only a ball hawk, but this dude is aggressive. He's aggressive, man. He doesn't mind playing up at the line. He's versatile. He actually gives you Harrison Smith type vibes. He was a captain for the Miami Dolphins at a young age, quite quickly in his career. So it shows the leadership's there. I mean, everything that you want in a safety, Holland provides that. So him and this gives you flexibility, because think about this. If Cam Bynum gets, we don't extend him, right? And we let him walk. And then on top of that, Harrison Smith decides to retire. Well, guess what? Josh Metellus is most likely going to have to fill one of those void spots. He's definitely going to have to. What that means is we're not going to see the versatile Josh Metellus, the Swiss Army knife that we've been seeing on defense, unless you can find other players that can fit the scheme of Brian Flores and perform at a high level. Because you can't just put anybody there. You have to understand the defense. And as far as I'm concerned, Brian Flores' defense seems like it's a little complex to where you're not just going to come in right away and just start dominating. But a guy like Holland that has some history with Brian Flores, I think would be a good fit. But Camryn Bynum, man, I mean, look, man, it's difficult this season only because, I mean, you look at the production, right? And it wasn't great. Okay, he had 54 tackles. He had 3 interceptions and 10 passes defended. Now, 3 interceptions, I mean, that's not bad from a safety, but I'll tell you what the issue was this year compared to last year, and it was the tackling. It was the pursuit. Now, I know a lot of people point at the Lions game where Jahmyr Gibbs went off, right? And a lot of the runs that we saw Jahmyr Gibbs going off, Camryn Bynum just happened to be in the frame every time. Now, I, after that game, came on here and I said, look, man, all of that isn't Cam Bynum's fault. A lot of that is Brian Flores' play calling, having the defenders up there and relying on your safety in Cam Bynum to have to make one-on-one tackles in the secondary. And look, man, that's a hard task for any safety across the NFL. Okay, that's not an easy task, especially when you're talking about a running back in Jahmyr Gibbs, who might be the best running back in the NFL other than Saquon Barkley. Let's just keep it a buck, right? So it was a tough task there, but to me, depending on the money, and I hate to get into the money and the cap and all that. I know it exists. Some people say it's a myth. I lean more in the middle. But I say this, man. I think Camryn Bynum is easily replaced. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I do. If I had to call it right now, I say you keep him though. Even though I believe he can be replaced pretty easily when you're talking about free agencies, even going in the draft. I will say that I do think there's still some value there, and he should be a Minnesota Viking. And as long as it makes sense as far as the money on the table, if it makes sense and it's not crippling what you're able to actually do to continue to build this team, I don't think it's that big of an issue. And I think you should push the line and bring Cam Bynum back, because he does bring some type of value. He brings some type of leadership now. He's been in the league now for what, I don't know, this going on his 5th season or something like that. So he's kind of got the season in there. I mean, it's looking up for him. He's productive for the most part. I mean, why not bring him back? I don't think he's going to break the bank or set the market for safeties. All right, that's just the reality. He's not going to do that. So let's do that, and then bring a guy like Holland in, and you pair those two up, barring that Harrison Smith decides to retire, which all Vikings fans are kind of sitting back waiting for that news to pop. But I mean, I think that would be a good move for the Minnesota Vikings. That's how I'm feeling, man. At the end of the day, I will say this: when you're celebrating the way you're celebrating, and they're showing videos of you, practicing celebrations before games and stuff like that, going into the game, you can look at it one or two ways. Hey, the guy has confidence. He knows that he's about to get a turnover this game. He knows the defense is going to make a play this game. I like that. I'm okay with that. I'm here for that. But then you have games like the Lions game where the videos were coming out about you guys, doing celebrations and what's the next celebration, and, TikToking and all this. And then you go out there and you get embarrassed and you don't get to do the celebration. Fans are going to hold you accountable for that. They're going to talk about it, including myself sometimes, like I did tonight. All right. But at the end of the day, Camryn, we love you, bro. I think you're worth bringing back, man. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, smooth summer, who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gonna do nothing. Celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.